Hello, today we are going to discuss a novel written by Aldous Huxley and which is named as Brave New World. This novel is a fiction, an imagination of the times to come, and the times to come are given a very detailed description with view to the background, the setting of a great machine launched by Henry Ford, and who this was Model T. The automobile was named Model T, and it was purposed to provide a free, subsidized, and a very cheap automobile to the common classes. With this as the background, Aldous Huxley writes down his fiction, which he entitled as Brave New World. But the world then did not take it easy. And why did it not take it easy? And suggested and advocated a ban upon the novel. It was the ban that was imposed upon the publication of this novel and distribution of the novel in various parts of the Western world. It is for this reason that we are going to see what the great father, the seer of the future world, had to say about the world that he thought was brave. So we try to see what actually it is about. The Brave New World is set in 2540 CE. Now we all have learned that there was a BC and then there came an AD. But Aldous Huxley chooses to place the narrative of his novel in 2540 CE, which the novel identifies as the year AF 632. That means after the period of 1908 to 1927, in which Model T was very popular and which marks as the Fordian age, the Henry Fordian age. So AF stands for after Ford. And after the passage out of Henry Ford, 632 years after his death, this novel has its narrative. The novel examines a futuristic society called the world state. Now we all know that Henry Ford is iconic in a sense that he was the one who made the automobiles because they were made at a low rate and they were provided at low costs to the buyers. Therefore, it revolutionized the age and everyone could afford this new world. The new world that was moving on wheels and was combating with the jet age. The jet age that was talked about by John Donne in 16th century. So after the travel from that age, now coming to the 20th century world, Aldous Huxley imagines some incidents happening for the establishment of a futuristic society, a society that may not have a past, also may not have a present, but certainly is designed for a future. And which future? The future that would be called the world state. Now, the idea of world state actually, in its very primitive meaning, speaks that because of so many discoveries that have bridged the distances, that have bridged the gulf, the gaps between the people, because of their very fast means of communication and because of their very fast means of transport, we have created for ourselves a world state. So the novel is about, it examines the world state and it revolves around science and efficiency. So science is a systematic development, the study of systematic, analytical, and very well programmed course. So it revolves around science and very importantly, it revolves around efficiency. Now, in our age, we all know that some are very rich and some are paupers. Some are very tall and some are very short. And there are abundant number of differences that exist between us. But this novel is creating for us a background in which efficiency would be a monitored affair. Everyone will be efficient, though not nurtured on an equal stand, but their work will be to be efficient. That means there can be no lethargy and people will only be machines, adding on to the mechanized state, the world state. So, a very brief overview of these details given about the novel Brave New World is that the setting of the novel is in a very distant future, and the background in which the course of the action will develop is for a purpose of a futuristic society, which will be a world state, and it will depend largely from science and efficiency. The narrative is about scientific and compartmentalized nature of the society. So, the society would be scientific. That means not a society with a scientific temper, but a society which would be engendered, which would be created in a hatchery. So just as there are very modern poultry which has got its very advanced mechanism of having the chicken to lay very good eggs qualitatively and quantitatively, but we all know that it ends up in making the hens, though otherwise productive, very soon sterile. So this scientific development not only speaks about an impetus in development, but it also implies the sterility that will be caused as a byproduct. So narrative is about the scientific and compartmentalized. So the society which we are ideally making a society in which everyone is at par. We all think in terms of equality, but that will be the time, the mechanized time will be the time when we will be compartmentalizing society. And where will this society, the foundation of this society be laid? This would begin at the Central London Hatchery and Conditioning Center. So this is the place where the origin of the action will take place. The roots would be laid down there. The society would be germinated there, or brought to life, or brought to existence at the Central London Hatchery. The very word central keynotes that this hatchery would be under the control of the center. There would be no say of an individual in the scientific and the compartmentalized formation of the society. It would be centrally powered, where children are created outside the womb. Now look at this. The material from which the children would be engendered would be outside the womb. That means even before the birth, the connection between the mother and the child would be aborted. And these children will be cloned in order to increase the population. So because we will have killed ourselves, the World War One had spelled a great catastrophe, a great destructive impact upon the population. So population should not go very meager. So because they'll be processed, they would be individuals, the people, the human beings would be either the result of a scientific process and completely in control of the center. No individual or personal say would be allowed, and to bridge the gaps, they would be cloned. There would be cloning. We all know that cloning is an artificial method of producing without taking the genetic material of the parents and producing more offsprings. So, love, which is integral to the birth of a child, will not be existent in this society. Children will be created. They will not be born, they'll be created after a scientific process outside the womb. That means the connection, the affection, the love is not admissible, and they would be products. Children would be products without the characters of their parents. In this brave new world would be a class system, the class system of this world, where citizens are sorted as embryos to be of a certain class. Now, a hypothesis which Aldous Huxley is using to create his narrative, it takes not human beings as individuals, but he speaks of these children, their efficiency being monitored even in the embryonic stage. So these classes which will be sorted, so the differences will remain despite the fact that the individuals of the society would appear identical. Despite that, differences will be maintained. So these classes, in order from the highest to the lowest, would be the alpha, beta, gamma, delta, and epsilon. So this is the descending order of society. alphas. Until now, we just read that there is an alpha male in a pack of animals. Alpha means the firstborn, the one that is supposed to be the most powerful. And beta is lesser than that, and the gamma would be much less, and delta, subsidiary to gamma, and epsilon would be the servile class. So, Aldous Huxley is in fact telling to us that in this world of industry, in this world of advanced mechanism, of mass production, of machinery, there would be a mass production of human beings as well. Human beings that would be clones. And remember, clones are incapable of cloning themselves. That means the progeny would be aborted. There would be no possibility of anyone engendering their offsprings. In such a state where it is believed that science would be topmost, science would decide the fate of the people, people will be engendered in hatcheries, people will be would be monitored, would be constrained even in their embryonic stage, and people would then be processed out. As we process out, we select, make a selection from a hatchery, the 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 female chickens that are going to bring forth new ones, and males are crushed. So here it is a similar kind of a heartless constitution of a society. And the novel Brave New World is just about the consequences of an accidental birth outside this prescribed system in which love will have no role to play in the birth of children. A boy is born whose name is John. But, and this boy is born in a secret. The parents seem to have indulged in love, and they beget this child. And the mother, in fear of the child being killed, because no one can exist outside the formulated laws, outside the formulated system, so the mother rushes out from this place, brings up the child elsewhere, but the roots do not break. The child, since he is a product of love, is John, a name given to a kind person. He is a John, but he is branded savage because he is uncultured. He shows sign of love. He loves people. He is compassionate. So, because the novel deals with love being inseparable to society, and which Aldous Huxley to cease to exist in the coming ages, what then? What would the John do in this world? Will he be allowed a happy existence in the world of clones? A real man. Will the real man be allowed to live, or will he be forced to kill himself or die? Just as we have read the death of a salesman, the American dream of being perfect, of being well loved, well liked, and they cause Willie Loman, the ordinary man, a good man, to commit suicide, and the title of his suicide is suggested as Death of a Salesman. So also we will In the novel Brave New World, we'll see how this child braves the new world. Braves means faces. How will he face the new world? The new world that was mechanically produced. And this man with a human heart, what will be his fate? So, this is all about an introduction to the novel. I would suggest you viewers to kindly take screenshots of the texts which are hinting at the major key points of this novel. Hope we find the novel interesting. Thank you.